country, and I'm fed up of people throwing moral superiority. Oh, you're a racist. Oh, that's not very kind. I don't care. I don't want one more girl's life destroyed by open-door immigration, which is dangerous. It is wrecking our country. It is wrecking our security.
This is the moment when the usual excuses finally stop working. Watch closely as Labour Councillor Sebastian Salek reaches for the familiar "not all men" argument in an attempt to sidestep serious concerns about migrant crime. It's a move designed to soften the issue, to blur responsibility, and to shut down a difficult conversation. But this time, it doesn't land. Phillips cuts straight through it with a challenge that no amount of rhetoric can dodge. She strips the debate of abstractions and forces it back to lived reality, asking those in power to confront what policies mean on the ground, not just in theory. Her words aren't designed to provoke applause. They're meant to expose a gap between what is said in Westminster and what people experience in their daily lives. The closing moments of this clip are particularly telling. They speak directly to every politician who believes careful language can replace accountability, and that moral posturing is enough to reassure the public. It isn't, and that's why this exchange has struck such a nerve. Subscribe, share your thoughts.
Look at some of the reports coming out, especially the sex attacks on young girls. This isn't a trumped up, overblown, oh, we're just handpicking the odd case that an asylum seeker or migrant has committed this crime. It's day after day after day. And I mean, look, for instance, this month, the rape in Leamington Spa, I'm not sure I even know about this one, had a reporting restriction placed on the case because the defence lawyer said the video the victim took of the attack was so harrowing, it risked disorder if the public saw it. In addition, Sultani Bakatash, also an Afghan national charged with the rape of 2 teenage girls in Bolton, Dawajan Ahmadzai, another Afghan national found guilty of 2 counts of sexual assault of a child. These are women and girls! These are little children! Having their lives destroyed! Someone's got to take responsibility for this. Surely somebody's head has to roll.
Yeah, it's complex, isn't it? And look, I think I agree with you on the
complex.
top line.
It's blimmin' easy. It's easy, Sebastian. You don't let men in from misogynistic medieval cultures where they stone women to death. You just say no. No. You got nothing to do with us. You're not coming in.
So what would you do then? You'd have certain countries you just wouldn't accept asylum claims from.
Exactly.
And which ones?
Well, Afghanistan for one, sorry, no, you pose too much of a risk to women and children. We've already brought in everyone that, seems to say they've got some sort of connection to the British military. I'm sorry, now we've looked at what's happening to our own, and you protect women and girls first, no to you, no to Eritrea. You can get those statistics of the people who are committing the worst possible crimes and just say no. Hungary's said no, Poland has said no, America's saying no. We get to say no. We're not the YMC blimmin' A of everybody in some far-flung, brutal, brutish, grim country who suddenly decides they want to live here. No. It's easy.
Well, let's start with where we agree, I think, which is that living under the Taliban is really, really horrible. And there will be many people who don't agree with the Taliban. And often, I don't know if you've noticed this, I certainly have, many people who leave these regimes and who you meet in real life, they leave because they hate what is happening in their own country. So they're completely at odds with the attitude of the Taliban towards women. And therefore, I think it would be really problematic to essentially tar everyone with the same brush, to say, I'm sorry, we've looked at the statistics and many of your people...
Sometimes life ain't fair. Life ain't fair. Sometimes you've got to do that. And Afghanistan, you can go over the border to Pakistan. Oh, that's right. Even the Pakistanis don't want the Afghans anymore. There's 53 Islamic republics. If they want to go to misogynistic cultures, go there. It's not our problem. It shouldn't be at the expense of girls.
The first is that they are going there. The majority of the countries that take the most asylum seekers are in the Islamic world. By far, even in Europe, we fall behind France and Germany in terms of the numbers we take. And secondly, as I say, a lot of these people don't want to go to other misogynistic cultures. They don't like what they're living under in the Taliban, and who can blame them? It's awful. And therefore, they're seeking somewhere with better values. And I would like to think that Britain does have those better values, that we
do. But unfortunately, when you keep hearing day after day, can't even show the video of one sex attack because it's too harrowing. I'm sorry. We've had the grooming gang scandal. We're now beginning to see regular particularly what is happening to girls. Sebastian, come on. As a country, we just go, no. We can say no. It doesn't make us bad people to go, do you know what? Actually, I'm a bit worried and I want to protect our daughters of this nation first. Yeah, would you let anybody homeless come and live in your house? Just anyone, because they're homeless?
I'm not entirely sure where you're going with this.
Well, what I'm saying is I could say that anybody living on the streets is having a hard time. They probably wouldn't want to be living on the streets. So does that mean that you and I have to just say to anyone who's living on the streets, come on, I've got a spare room, in you come? Or would we worry about the integrity of our own houses, the safety, whether we could afford to look after this person, who they were?
I don't really think you can make the comparison there.
Of course you can.
The sad truth is, and look, I think any rape that is committed is a tragedy. Of course it is, but there are so many that are being committed by people in this country. Look, I know you're being so
that's our problem. We're going to have rapists and paedophiles and monsters in this country, fine. It doesn't mean we have to import a load of them from countries who statistically...
I don't care about the label. I care about the outcome. Protecting our daughters is the line that ends this debate. When safety is at stake, accusations lose their power and priorities become clear. What you see in this exchange is a stark contrast. Sebastian Sal represents a strain of modern politics that is so anxious about causing offense that it struggles to confront hard evidence, even when statistics on sexual violence are plainly visible. Alex Phillips represents something very different. The lived reality of women, who are expected to navigate the consequences of policy decisions every day. That's why the Walk Behind Me challenge lands so hard. It cuts through theory and exposes hypocrisy. Because deep down, Sebastian knows he wouldn't feel safe wearing a dress and walking through certain neighborhoods at night. Yet he supports the very policies that have helped create those conditions. That contradiction is impossible to ignore. This isn't about rhetoric or winning an argument. It's about responsibility. Voting for policies while refusing to face their consequences is not compassion. It's avoidance. And when avoidance puts people at risk, it deserves to be challenged. So I'll leave you with a question Sebastian couldn't answer. Do you feel safer in your town today than you did 10 years ago? Let me know in the comments. If you want to see more breakdowns like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one.